Okay, my assignment. My assignment. Good afternoon. We are in another week. Let's see, from scratch to now. Is there something we don't understand? What we've done so far? Yes, what we have done so far. Okay, mention just one of them. Things we've done so far. What do you remember?
From scratch.
Yes. Any of the topics do you remember?
I remember
HTML. Yes. What do you remember? Or he has said what you want to say. Okay, what do you remember? Assuming he hasn't said anything. No. We've reset. HTML. So what do you remember? CSS. What do you remember? PHP. Abdul. Bootstrap. How do I spell it? Bootstrap. Yes. Malik. What do you remember? You are repeating what is on the board. Lyrica. What do you remember? Anything you remember? JavaScript. Yes. What do you remember? Huh? Jumbotron. Jumbotron is the Jumbo. Is it like this? Or M-tron? This tron. What do you remember? From day one to now. At least those who've been able to make it. What do you remember? Functions. Agile programmer. What do you remember? Bootstrap. So anything else? Aziz, what do you remember? Font awesome. Like this, Yes. You remember something? Okay, functions. Yes, what else? Come again. Separation of concern. Yes. Malik, can you add one? Hosting, okay. Yes. What else? Vue.js. Okay, let's stick to mine. Okay. Domain names. Yes, anything else? Hosting, domain names, font, awesome, boost.
MySQL and Apache servers.
Come again.
Using MySQL and Apache servers.
MySQL, okay, let's say Apache. This service. This MySQL. It's not strange. I'm just asking from the one that is 11th March, right? From 11th March to February, 11th February, March, April. You are in April, March, April, yeah. Up to now, what key thing can you remember? Not even things you know. I've made it so easy. What can you just remember? And some said he remember HTML. Others are saying CSS, Bootstrap. So, what do you remember from HTML? Okay. Yes. Can we sign on this? Or is there something we can add? Is there something you can add?
The web hosting.
Yes. Okay. That bad guy and www. Is it web? It's like this. Just web hosts. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So far we have 13. Come again. Okay, okay. Okay. Page linking. Something like that. Okay, so let's see which of these you don't understand at all. This one there, if you meet it outside, you will say, I've never heard of this.
The one that can give the calculation. my problems, my first problem is when I was coming, I didn't expect to come and give him my marks.
Okay.
The second one is that being question. The way you started out once.
Boom.
The question and it's overwhelmed us. Us do it. But as always, we do it for us to see move gradually. So now I can't do it.
I agree with you, but I think in the subsequent days we actually did a lot of examples. The whole of the week it was just.
The other time I saw one question, you sent it from the page, I was at home, and look at it and say it's how many. I didn't try.
Yeah, so that comes under this. And strangely enough, everywhere you pass, you meet it. But it doesn't always do calculations. It depends on what you want it to do, that it will do. The work you want to do, that is what you are assigning your functions to do. So you'll see it again. So let's see which one. The separation of concern. If you meet this one in another class, you will say, I've never seen this. Okay, and you, which one will you say, this one there, it was never said in class? The separation of concern, and which one? The PHP. Okay. So you will say this one that you've never seen it in class.
Unless I visit my good friend doctor.
She Google it. Which one are you not clear with? The whole of this.
Saying I've not met it before.
Okay, yeah, first of all, you've also, which one will you need like a walkover or like a revisit? The hosting. Okay. Aziz. You are all Aziz. You are also Aziz. No, you I call you Salam. So you are Aziz. One. Which one you've never seen in your life before? Just seeing, you've never seen it or heard it. And then which one will you need, like, let's say, a revisit? Okay, so like you've seen all before. Yeah. And which one specifically, like if you just have one slot, which one will you need a redo?
It wouldn't be that much, but if you just be revising this, like revising this.
Okay. So which one will you bet on? You have only one chance, so you have to pick.
Okay, I'll take functions.
Functions, okay. Agile programmer, which one is strange to you? You've never seen it in your life. Which one do you need a revisit? PHP. Okay. Abdallah, which one is strange to you? Which one do you need a revisit?
This with domain name.
Domain name.
Buying it.
Okay. Yes. Packer. Which of them? You've not seen it before, you need a revisit. Okay. Mansura. Which one you've not seen in your life before? You've seen all of them. And which one do you need a redo? PHP. Okay. Malik. Which one you've not seen in your life before? Okay, and how are they? The looping. Okay. This one actually is a borrowed one. That's why I've commented. So this is it, and you functions. You've seen all before. Abdul Basit. PHP. You've seen all before, and you need a revisit of PHP. My sister. A revisit of PHP and function. Okay, and Sheikh too said PHP. Right. Functions. Okay. Functions. Baki. Which one do you need? Which one you've not seen in your life before? So which one do you need a revisit? This is the functions. Yes, the whole show. Which one you've not seen before? Separation of concern. So which one do you need a revisit? Of course, separation of concern. That one. Or the PH or the functions. The separation of concern. Yeah, Sina. A revisit of the PHP. Okay, so others are easy to revisit, but others are not that easy. So let's see a quick walkthrough of let's say the whole show. Then we will land on the functions. We know what HTML is, right? That one we don't need a revisit. We know what CSS is. We know its purpose. We know what PHP is. Right? Who doesn't know what PHP is? Just what it is. It's a programming language, and that's all, full stop. Bootstrap. Who can tell me one of the content in Bootstrap? If you open Bootstrap, one of the things you will find. You see font awesome. Yes. Yes. What? JS. PHP. Oh no. It should be there. Okay. Huh? Who can give a technical reason why PHP should not be here? Just technical reason. I'll give you a reason and let's see if it's technical. PHP is not part of. But can someone guess why, fundamentally, why PHP is not part? Yes.
Because basically, let's say in a website, it's used as like the logic side. If you inspect the element, you don't see PHP files. It's working with
Okay. You are not far. Okay. Can someone polish it? Shake.
PHP is about logic and behavior.
Okay. Who will polish it further? Yes.
What I would say is PHP is not really like a front-end.
It's not
There is the front end.
Okay. Yes, Aziz. Salam. The Bootstrap. Okay. Okay. So what makes it different language? I think that is the technical aspect I need. Yeah, I think those are the keywords, the server side and the front end. You realize all these three, they are front end. I hope you know what front end means. But PHP is back end. So the Bootstrap is a front end framework. So that means PHP cannot come in. I'm not buying the logic wholly, because you know with JavaScript you can put logics into your pages, but JavaScript is so front end. So the key thing is PHP is server side, but the whole Bootstrap is for front end, like the client side. So like for example, if you get Objective, which of these is a server side language? If you know where they are used, you can easily know this one is supposed to be a back end language, it should be a front end language. So that is the content of Bootstrap, and the main purpose is to enhance our design. Instead of going through that terrible process, writing CSS, designing it, writing so many colors, just to add small curve to a button. They've done those ones for us already, so we just pick and then we start using. And a feature of that is this Jumbotron. I hope you know the Jumbotron. It's just a feature like for highlighting some sections of your page. And this one is part of the Bootstrap. Now the separation of concern. This is a typical example. The Bootstrap folder. You realize they group them. Everything relating to font is in the font folder. Everything relating to CSS is in the CSS folder. Everything relating to JavaScript is in the JavaScript folder. And remember, in ours we created another one called page, where we had all the HTML files in it. So we've separated our files according to what they do, or like here specifically according to their extensions. So that is separation. You don't bundle everything as one folder. Like you open one folder, there is CSS in it, there is PHP in it. You try to separate them. All your PHP files should go to PHP folder. All your CSS should go to CSS. Your JavaScript should go to JavaScript. That is separation of concern. So you are separating based on what they do, their functions. That is just about that. That one has nothing to do with code. It's just a concept of how to arrange your things. Are we okay with that? Then hosting. Hosting, if you say hosting, it's just like hard disk space. You tell me your hosts, that means your space. A space you buy from a company that you put your files in. That is all. That is just all. So if like business wise, it can also represent a company. You say like my host. That means that's the person providing you that space that you put your files in. And I think the earlier days we discussed why you will have to. It's just a hard disk space, a space you put your files in. Are you okay? So why are you not leaving them on your own machine? In the early days we discussed this. Yes. That let's say when you are done with your site, your Bootstrap, right? But you go and buy a space from another company and they'll be charging you yearly just for storing your files there for you. So why are you not leaving it on your own machine? Why will you prefer to give you sweat, you overnight, did everything is fine now, then you say okay, have it. Why will you do that?
Prevent your file from corrupting.
Okay, what can corrupt your file?
Assuming a pen drive is infected with virus and you set it, can corrupt
Okay, so corruption, we can convert it to this is virus, then we can convert it to a bigger topic like for security reasons. You get it? So let's say for security reasons, you might not have that whole expertise to protect the files. Are you okay? A lot can happen. A lot is happening. So you don't have that expertise to both like security and let's say technical. How to set up your server yourself, how to do your mapping, configure your DNS. So many things goes into it. So there are like web administrators. They have that expertise. They have security guys who also have those expertise how to protect it. So to just do away with all this headache, once you are a developer, you are not a web administrator. Though at workplaces you will be compelled to do these things also, but at the higher level, such a person is there, the administrator. This is where you can put your files. I have to make sure the antivirus is live. I have to make sure I've done the DNS resolutions. I have to make sure I've done this, I've done this. That person is there. But most companies, if they employ you as a developer, you are likely to do these things also. So just to take out that thing away, when you are done, you get to give it to the person. Now, is that enough for you to be paying yearly for the person to host your your pages for you? We've seen one of the reasons, let's say for security. Yes, what will compel you again? Yeah, it's a possibility. If you are leaving it on your own laptop, then that means your machine should be online 24/7. Are you okay? 24/7. No do so. 24/7. So I think this is one of the biggest things. Even if you have the expertise to do every configuration in internet access, and not just the internet, there has to be that electricity also. The machine has to be on, internet has to be on 24/7. So aside security, internet access is also a factor that will compel you to push it to someone to do the hosting for you. Yes, any other thing? Yes. Yes, for access. Now, let's say you are not living in Ghana, you are living in somewhere US. There is always light, internet, constant. For strange reasons, the web is structured in such a way that your computer is not seen on the internet. Are you okay with that? It's just biased, but that is how it's structured. So your computer in your house or my computer is not seen on the bigger internet. So even if you have the expertise, you have the internet, you have everything, you can't connect directly to the internet. Are we okay? So in that case, you have to go for someone who has that license to expose his computer to the internet. Then you give that contract to him. Or unless you go subscribe to such a service, that now I'm a don, so I want to expose my computer to the internet. And that brings back to one of the things we said in the earlier days. For them to give your computer a fixed telephone number, we remember that. That is the IP address, which the human face, or like our eyes, will be calling the domain name. So even if you have everything set, your computer is not exposed to the internet. So unless you go for that license also, those with the right to expose their computer to the internet, they are normally called the ISP. Are we okay? Internet service providers. They have that license to expose their computer to the internet. So if you connect to the internet and you check for your IP, technically it's not your IP. You are seeing the IP of your ISP. Are you okay with that? Right now, if let's say you connect to the internet, there is a site. What is my IP? If you go to whatismyip.com, you'll be showing an IP, but it's not your IP. It's the IP of your service provider. So in this case, maybe MTN or Vodafone, those that give you the SIM, it is their IP you will see. You will not see your own IP. You don't even have one. And that's one. Anytime you connect, it's likely to change. Anytime you connect to the internet, if you check what's my IP, you are likely to get a different IP because of how they do their assignments. When you connect the free one, then they will connect you to that. Are we okay? So that is it. Even if you have the expertise, you have everything, the internet is not structured in such a way that any computer at all will be seen on the internet. Are we okay? So they will provide you with a computer, which they sometimes call gateway. If you want to send something to the internet from your machine, it will go to the gateway. And the gateway will search for wherever you want to find that information. When the reply is coming, it's coming back to the gateway. Now, the gateway knows all the computers behind it, so it can find you. You are not connected directly, but the gateway knows you. Like if there is a security man here, any letter coming, the security man will pick it. The one bringing the letter doesn't know any of us here. We also don't know the one bringing the letter. The security man will pick it, look at it. Let's say it's addressed to Sheikh, then he will give it to Sheikh. If Sheikh wants to give something back, Sheikh will put his name there and then put the security man here address. So that one will pick it, send it. The one acting on it doesn't even know it's coming from Sheikh. The only name it sees is the security man here. That is how the internet works. Now, there is something called port forwarding. You can do some kuluru, and once it gets here, it can automatically come to you, but it's not allowed. When they find you, they can even block you. It's a smart way of beating that law they've said you cannot connect. So you can do that. You can do port forwarding, and then you will connect, but it's not allowed. So they find you, then they will block you. They want to do, and then they will charge you. Illegal. Just have to do it that way. So technically, there are challenges why you cannot have yours. So we've seen expertise, security, internet access, and just challenges, access. That is just a hosting. That is it. So you need to get a space somewhere so that they will do it for you. Going forward, you will definitely buy one or two of these ones so that you will see how you do the configurations. This is if you buy this space, there will be this is a server, right? So if you are to host your things locally, that means your computer should have this well set up. If you are going to another company, they have this already, so they will do the hosting for you. This is a server that will be on the computer. Now there is this one to IIS, I think Internet Information Service from Microsoft. They also have this. So where you are buying the space to put your files, if it's Windows, then this is what you will get. This is the server you will get. If it's any of the Linux distro, then you get this one. Are you okay? And this one normally comes with SQL Server, and then this one normally comes with MySQL. So that is how the movement is. These are the things, the computer you want to put your files on, things on it already. They've done all the settings for you, so yours is just to pay and then make use of them. So that is all. And then we've done page linking too. I hope it's not strange to us. Linking page to the other, we've done all these things. So basically, that is it from 11 February to now. Now, the web host. Yeah, this is just an example of hosting company that we've used their services. This one is an example of a hosting company. That is all. And they are saying it's free for 2 databases. If you want to go beyond the 2 databases, you have to go for paid version. And I think every 24 hours your site will go down 1 hour. Yeah, it's fine. 23 hours. The good thing is you set which hour it should go off. So if you are in Ghana, just set it to somewhere 12 p.m. So from 12 p.m. to, let's say 1 p.m. it will go off. No one is visiting your site. Let's say no meaningful traffic that time. So that is it. This one is just an example of this. So basically that is it. And this domain name is just like your computer is supposed to have something like this, a telephone number. But human beings, we can't memorize these things. Are we okay? Human beings, we can't memorize these numbers. If this is for one computer, remember, if you have to remember like 10 computers, that would be very difficult. So they came up with these domain names. Or this should come first. Are we okay? So they will map it and say, okay, let's say this one is google.com. Are we okay? So instead of we humans memorizing these ones, we would rather memorize google.com, and we can remember that. Let's say instead of memorizing something like I'm just guessing, just that there's a boundary to your guess. You can't guess beyond 255. So there is this, there is this, there is this. So instead of, let's say, memorizing this, assuming it's for Facebook, then they will say we should rather memorize this. So when you type this in your browser, it will be converted to this, and then this particular machine will be found and your request will be sent to. So this one is the domain name. This is the domain name, and this is the IP address associated with it. It's not this one I just guessed, but each one should be from 1 to 255. Any of these can be from 1 to 255. And the number that begins also indicates whether it's for a big company or it's for a small company. They have, it's a whole thing under networking. It's called subnet, subnet. So like when you just see it, you know that this is likely for a company as big as Google, or this is for a company as small as KMA. That is, they have that classification. So basically that is it for the domain name also. So that's it. Now we are stripping those ones off. I hope we are clear with them. Now I don't even know how to start a PHP. how do I start it? Let's come again. I don't know where to start from. Let's look at the functions again here, and as we use them, the concept of the PHP will come. PHP, you all know, it's just a programming language for programming at the server side. Are we okay with that? So let's see. Now the whole thing is our function. It's not peculiar to PHP. It's not something for like JavaScript, or you say this is, if you use this language, that's where you will need it. Every language you pick, you meet this guy. He's there, and the whole thing comes back to the point of modularization. Is it something like this? Let's take it like that. There is something called like splitting your things into small modules. So if you get the noun out of it, help us. You get it? Like module into small groups, right? So it has a noun, some complex word like that. The whole thing is when you are giving something big, split it into small sections and then solve the small ones. When you are done, you combine them. Are you okay? Like divide and conquer, or like decentralization. That is the whole thing. So like let's say we have a central government in Accra. He can control or she can control like everything in Ghana. So she will have to split it into regions. The country will be divided. This is Ashanti. This is Greater Accra, right? Now somebody will be put in charge of Greater Accra or like Ashanti region. Now to that person also, Ashanti is still big. The person will divide Ashanti into constituencies or districts, and then put people in charge of the district. Now the one in charge of the district might be big, so the person will split it into. But we get the concept. So to down to this assemblyman. So assemblyman is a function. Are you okay? Let's say DC is a function. Minister is a function. That is it. So assemblyman will work, return his results to let's say DC. DC will work, return his results to let's say regional minister or whoever he's to report to. Up until it gets to president. That is the concept of functions. That is just all. So whatever you are given, you split them into small sections. And the good thing you get is when like you are a president, there is a report. This report is wrong. You can write, no, this is from this constituency, and then you zoom straight to that to do the corrections. Are we okay? Now the whole thing too is you can change just that constituency. Every other thing will be intact. Just that constituency, you can change it. It doesn't affect the other constituencies. Are we okay? So that is the whole thing that works in programming also. So whatever you are given, you have to split it into small work. That is all about functions. So when you are presented with something, you have to read it, study it, and know that this is big, but it's made up of this small works. I gave a typical example, which it has calculation shape. Let's say if you have to calculate net pay, someone's salary. We know in concept, we have to know the person's deductions. We have to know the person's salaries before we can calculate the person's net pay. So that deduction, it should come to your mind that I should work that one separate. The person's allowance, I should work it separate. Before I will come to the final place, I have to work the person's, how do we call it, his nets. That is the whole concept. That is the whole concept. Let's say, for example, I put one question. The one I saw on Facebook, calculating. Let's say if you have to take your car from Harbour, how much you have to pay. If you read it totally, it's big. But if you read carefully, you realize it's some parts. It's parts. Let's see, this is for health insurance. This is for this. This is for this. So that is the whole concept of functions. The whole idea is whatever work you are given, split it into different parts, and then finally merge the whole thing. So let's see the example we use. Is the calculations are not that high. The addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Are we okay? Let's say we want to do this work. We want to, let's say, a page that we can use to do addition. We can use that same page. Let's say a form. We'll get first number, second number. We can add the numbers. We can divide the numbers. We can subtract them. We can take a modulo of the numbers. Are we okay? So this is the bigger picture. We'll say, let's say arithmetic calculation. This is what we want to achieve. Now, when we look at this, we can see that it's made up of small things. Or like there are different components to it. If you take arithmetic, they can be addition, right? They can be subtraction. They can be division, multiplication. So this is how we are splitting it into small sections. Are we okay with that? That is all. So the bigger thing we want to achieve is arithmetic, but it's made up of addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and whatever follows next. Are we okay? For example, the net pay I talk about, we know to get this one, we need to get gross, we need to get total, deduction, and then yes, allowance comes under, or let's say let's make it this way, the person's basic, the person's allowances, the person's deductions, before we can get the net pay. So this is the breakdown. Are we okay? So when you are told to do something like this, you have to read it and know that it's made up of these small sections. The assignment I gave to put into brackets twin primes, right? 2, 3. When you read it, you realize that no, to be able to solve this, I should be able to get the prime numbers first. Are you okay? I should be able to get the prime numbers first. So that becomes a separate work. That is a separate function. When you get that, before you come back and do the calculation. So it all depends on the question you'll be given. Then you will have to read it and see that it's made up of this small work. That is all. So if I have to do this, let's say I will have a function, and the structure of the function, now we have to memorize it. It begins with the word function, the name you want to give to that work you want to do. So name of work, and then bracket open, bracket close. It's asking you, what do you need to do that work? That is what the bracket open, bracket close means. What do you need to do that work? If you don't need anything, then you leave it like that. But if you need some things, then you put them in it. Are we okay? So when you want that, then you do this. That is all. This is all we need. This is the structure of a function. Are we on track? Now, we also talk about two things. When you are done calculation, like with the calculation, your final answer, what do you want to do to it? When you are done, do you want to display it, or do you want to use it in another calculation? Are we okay with that? When you are done with the calculation in your function, the final answer, do you want to just display it, or you want to go and use it somewhere in another calculation? if you want to use it in another calculation, then that is where the concept of return comes in. So let's say inside this, I can have a variable, let's say answer, which is equal to, let's say 2 plus 3. Now this gives me 5, right? What do I want to do with the 5? I just want to display in the browser. Then in that case, I'll say echo this. Then I'm done. Oh no, I want to use the answer in another calculation in my project. Then in that case, I'll say return answer. This concept is very important. Let's say return. Yeah, so when this one is saying this one will bring the answer, so it's entirely up to you what to do with that answer. You can assign it to a variable and use it in another calculation, or you can just echo it if that is what you want to do. Are you okay with that?
Okay. So, that doesn't mean that we echo the answer, we cannot return it back. Or we can. Maybe they say, answer, then you say echo answer, then you return it again.
Yeah, what will happen is, let's say if you echo here, this echo will come, but that is not what you want to see in your browser. You get it? For example, if let's say in my browser, after typing number 1, number 2, I want to say that A1 plus 2 is 4. Now that statement, something else can come because it's another echo. So there could be some echo in somewhere in your page. You get it? And there could be echo somewhere, but you will where you want to use it, that's where you echo it. That's the whole thing. If you don't need this answer anywhere, then just echo it here and full stop. Other than that, return it, bring it back to so that another functions can make use of, or another page can make use of. Okay. Yes.
I want you to let another function access what you intend to use.
Definitely, we were to do different and use another function to access them. So let's say something like this. Let's say function. Let's say use function 1. So what should let's say multiply the results from here by 2. This one is bringing an answer multiplied by 2. So that is it. Or multiply it by a certain number. So I will say this. So whatever this one is returning, multiply it by n. So in that case here, I will just do return, and then this one will come, and then here will be n. Now this one is not taking any number, then we multiply by n. That means I've used that function inside another function. I can keep on using this one in another function too. Or another way is I can put this one into a variable and then begin to use that variable for whatever I want to use. So let's say it's equal to this. So in that case, this can multiply this. Then I'm returning that one. Yeah.
For sake of scope, that variable that you are according to the function of the variable.
This one.
You are passing the function of the that variable. Like it being inside that different function means there be problem with scoping.
This one.
No, the function.
This.
Yeah, I said you are passing it down the variable.
Yes, I'm the answer of this. I'm putting it here.
So I'm asking, wouldn't there be a problem with regards to scope? Like it's coming inside a different function?
No. But if like there was a variable here, if this I want to use this variable, I can use it here. I can use this variable here unless I make it global. But the function itself, I can use it. Remember this is the same file. So for a function, I can use that function in another function. Are you okay? But if there was a variable inside this, I can use it in another function.
So if another function wants to access what this function is producing,
what this one is producing.
say
Want to access this?
Yeah.
No, it can't access it.
Why you declaring using the name of the first function and then asking to another variable, like declaring that is by the second.
Why shouldn't I do it?
Why?
Why shouldn't I do it?
I was thinking that. The first function, we use the name of word.
Yeah, this is the name of the first function. Okay.
And we said we want to use the result in the first function.
Yes.
In the second function.
Yes.
So I was thinking that like when you come here, the name of word,
Okay.
has already been used, and let me see, the system knows name of word, that function. And when you come to the second function, you know how to see the variable.
I'm not clear. Let's say I've used this, right? And so here, why are you suggesting?
Why do you use, say, declare variable B equals to name of function, name of word?
Why shouldn't I do it?
I don't know.
No, are you trying to say that he have used the name of that function instead of passing it to a variable?
Like without declaring the variable, they use the.
No, it still doesn't change. The whole thing is he's not following. That is the thing. He's not following, because that was what I actually did, Kra. The first thing I did, it wasn't the var here. It was the name of this I put here direct. Then later I said you could also assign it to a variable and use the variable. Like this one came in here because Jalil asks the results this one is bringing. Let's say this one is giving 5. Can I use that 5, that results in another function? And that was the whole reason why I created this function again, to show that we can use that first function in the second function. Are you okay? And if you are using it here, the first thing I did was this. This was what I did. This wasn't there. Then later I said you can also assign this one to a variable. And then you use the variable in place of this. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay, so now you see, why questions are complex. It's like the person has an alternative answer. You get it? If you say why, that means you have an answer you want to defeat more. So, so are you okay? Function can be used in another function. Yes. And it goes on. So, coming back to what we want to do, this one, let's make it addition. What does it need? It needs 2 numbers to add. Are you okay? So we have number 1 and then number 2. If it is an addition that will take 3 numbers, a function that will take 3 numbers, then we will have add another number. The $sign beginning is just the way variables are declared in PHP. You have to bring them. So this is it. Using 2 as example. So in that case, here will be num1 plus num2. Only num2, yeah. I see that police now. The response is So are you okay? That means we are on track. Yeah, so that is it.
I want to ask whether the argument,
The okay.
must it be a variable?
The whole thing is you have to ask yourself, this function, I want to do something in it. What do I need? That determines what your parameters will be. What do I need to be able to do the things I want to do inside that function? Are you okay? Now, assuming if this function, let's say it's Mayanka, the inside here should be cow. Do you get it? Then that means that is what I need to operate that work. If let's say this function is, let's say build house, then what do I need? Here will be cement, here will be wood, and the list of things I need to build the house. The $sign.
Now it's a variable can provide the
Like in PHP, what is this? Yeah, it will say that it's undefined, unless maybe you create it as a constant. You get it? If you create this one as a constant, then you can use this. Are you okay? And if it's a constant somewhere, logically, why would we have to pass it here? You can just push it straight to here. You get it? You can put here, let's say, how do you call it? It could be other resources. It could be a file. It could be a database connection string. It could be anything. Just ask yourself, these operations I'm coming to do, what do I need? Are you okay? And that is what defines what the things here will be. Are you okay? So we are not building, we are adding. So that is addition. So we are done with this function. That's all. Yes, undefined. That's it. So let's create another one for subtraction. Where we are coming from is this arithmetic. And we've seen to really get a function that does all this, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. So we've broken that down into smaller pieces. So let's see for subtraction. And the value is the same. The name, the word function will come, then subtraction, then what do we need? We need the two numbers we want to subtract. So num1 and then num2. This we have no option than to bring them, and inside here it could be a whole lot of calculation before you get the final answer, but we are lucky, we are just adding the numbers straight away. So we'll have return the two numbers here, and here is subtraction. I copied this assuming it's the same spelling as this. So we've gotten a function for subtraction. Now, if we are to repeat the same thing for division, right? Then here would be this. If we are to repeat the same thing for multiplication, then it will be the same thing as this. So we are done with the functions we need for this arithmetic functions. This big brother is made up of these small ones, and we've gone down to declare all the small ones. So we are now coming to join the small ones to the big one. So when we come here, it's the same thing. We want to work with the actual arithmetic function. Now, if I want to add two numbers in the big brother, I will need the first number, I will need the second number, and then something else. What do I want to do? Because this one doesn't indicate addition, it doesn't indicate subtraction, and the rest. So in that case, we have to indicate it here. That's why we call the operator. So in that case, now this will be the structure. Let's reduce the size a bit. So this is how it will be. Are we okay? So now this operator, if this operator is the addition sign, then we are going to make use of our addition function. Okay, this one is 1, this one is 2. So in that case, we are going to make use of this one. So if it is this, then you return this. Are we okay? Else, if the operator is minus, then this function we did should come. If it's minus, then return this. Else, if our operator is this, multiplication, then we return this multiplication. And then else, it depends, we can end else or else if. So if operator is equal to the division, then we return this. Now is division. So that is it. This is what we wanted to do, but we've broken it down into small pieces, and then we are now making use of them in one bigger one. So that is the whole concept of functions. Whatever you are given, break them into small chunks, into units, possible units. You can work and get an answer, then you bring it, join the small answers till you get a bigger one. And the advantage you get in doing that is what governance is achieving with decentralization. Kelly. Yes. So how the if operate, since they will definitely get terminators here. You are making a comparison here, and since it's only one thing, that is why I didn't bother to bring this. If you bring them this way, nothing is changing, but you've not achieved anything. Are we okay? But if you had, let's say, 2 lines, if there was another line here, then in that case, if you don't bring it, only the first line will work, will execute. That's if it doesn't even throw you error. So if you have more than 1 line, then you put them in curly brackets. But if it's 1 line, it will work. So if you are comfortable seeing them, then this is it. They will come here. You should go down, and this will come here. But since they are all just one line, it will work fine. Please, who is not clear? The whole concept of what a function is, why you have to break your work into smaller units, and then bringing them back to achieve what you want to achieve. Dear programmer, last week you got stuck here. Are you okay? Now you can do it. So now let's see if you want to modify something. Let's say this one is not calculating right, addition is not right. You realize you don't have to touch this function. Are you okay? Once you realize this is something here is not working, just have to zoom down to where addition is and see how you did the addition. Just like when the president sees something wrong with this particular disease report, you just have to go there straight to it. So that's why you achieve if you break your things into this function. Now if you want to, the big brother of this function is what they normally call like object-oriented programming. You get it? Object-oriented programming. That is, it's in JavaScript has it, Java has it, PHP, C#, by all this, most of these from 3rd generation languages, they are supporting it, and it's this same concept. Now what we are going to do, picture it as objects you know in real world. For example, if I tell you calculate net pay, are you okay? Then you know net pay is about people. You get it? Or it's about staff, or it's about employee. That is the concept you have to get. Then you create that file, let's say employee file. Are we clear with that? Yes. So every function about employee will be in that file. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
If I say building, in real world we have building. So you can have building file. Yeah. And then every function about the building will go there. Are we okay? Sure. Now when you get that, let's say building file, or you have that employee file, that will have a function for, let's say, net pay. There are other things to employee have, which we know of. A name, right? Yeah. Age, yeah. Gender, yes, employee's ID. What again? Let's say the employee's qualification. So everything in that will be in its own file. So that is the concept. So like whatever you are working with, picture it like something real world, and then create a module for it separate, and then everything in it will be in that. If let's say it's building, I will have a building. If I have to talk about building, then that means I'll have a file called building, and every function that has to do some calculation of the building, like the buildings, let's say the weight, or what is the size, is weight reasonable, size, size. This is not error. Okay, it's error, logical error. So the size of the building, the color of the building, the number of rooms. So number of rooms. So materials used. Materials, tools, style, this way, STYLE. Okay, whether it's this way or pentagon. Yes. So now these ones, these things, they are called properties of the building. Are we okay? Properties of the building. Now, what can you do to the building if you have a building there? What are the possible things you can do to a building? Yes, you can paint it. Right? If you have a building, you can paint it. What else can you do to a building? You can modify. Okay, you can modify. Plastering. How do I spell it? You brought your word, though. Like this. Let's assume. So, what else can you do to the building? Okay, demolish. Demolish. You can demolish it. You can add room, right? You can add room. Tiling. Like this. You can tile it. You're the one who brings. You are responsible for the spelling. Decorate. Okay. I've helped you. Now let's look at this. If you look at this one, these ones are called properties. What is the difference between the things listed here and this? That ones are subsets of the up ones. Okay. Top one is supposed to happen before the second one. Are we following?
Yeah.
Now, you see, these ones, Sheikh said it right, they are actions. Are we okay? Or like verbs. Anyone that is not action or a verb, then mean we've got the spelling right, wrong. They are things you can do to the room. Are we okay? These ones are like, they are descriptions, like adjectives. Are we okay? So who can add one adjective here of a room? Renovate. You say it will not work. Okay, maybe it's meaning something else. But what I actually mean by adjective is they are describing the room. That is what I'm trying to say. It gives us features of the room, like describing the room. Are you okay? Like the room style. Actually, these ones are, they will have question marks, like the tools the person use. But color, size, the style, let's say the room's location, Are you okay? Number of rooms. You know, they are describing the room. So that is it. But this one will surely throw some questions on me. So meanwhile, I didn't put it there. So who can please add one adjective of a room? Malik, add one. I will not pick. Yes, I know, I will not pick. Yes. The shape. Yes. Shape, right? We agree. The shape. Okay, someone says maybe it's a borrowed word of this. The style could represent the shape. Come again. Height. Yes, height. Okay, let's just leave it this way before I get into trouble. Location. Yes, I think location is. Or if it is under this that you have. Here, what else can we add? What action can we take on a room? Idea. Roof, yes, room, we can roof it. We can roof a room. Yes, we can wire a room.
Remote.
Remote. Like this. Okay. But the key thing is, are we getting the difference?
Yeah.
Things that describe the room and things that are actions you take on the room. Are we okay? Any real thing you picture, like the employee I made mention of. If you picture employee, things, actions you can take on the employee, they will be your functions. Are we okay? Then things that will describe the room will be your properties or like variables. Are you okay with that? Now your file, employee file, it has things that describe it. It has things that talk about actions you can take on that real thing you imagine. Then that is an object. And that is the concept of object-oriented programming. So that means anything you pick, you have to consider its properties, its adjectives, things that describe it. And you also have to consider actions you can take on that object. The picture the building you pictured is an object, and these are its properties, and these are its functions. Are you okay? So this will be a file by itself. If you have to work with, let's say, road, this is the object you are going to work on. So you have a file called, let's say, road file or whatever you name it, and inside it there will be things that describe the road, adjectives, and there will be things that are like actions you can take on the road. Are we okay? So if we take finally, let's say, back to the employee. So what are they? Yes. Or let's say human being. Something they burn eh?
Please check the extension where each one is for.
I will save. Want to follow me? Then at the end, you say, Sir has seized mine.
This one is seasoned by the nature.
Thanks. Please, are we okay with it? So if you are talking about car, mentally the car is your object. Then you should know things that describe the car. Are you okay? And then things that are like actions you can take on the car. So if you change human being to car, what do we get? The actions. With the verbs, things we can do to the car. What can we do to a car? Burn it. Ha. Let's move on. See, what made this answer troubling is that's the first one. If like you've mentioned a lot and you are still trying to get, and you bring this one, but first thing you do to a car is to burn it. I want to be live. So what else after burning? Reshape.
We can paint it.
Paint. Okay, we can paint car. What else? We can
modify it.
Pimp. How do I spell it? PIMP. Okay.
As we can't do all these things.
Yes. Hey, so nobody even want to move the car. You can yeah. We can move it. We can stop it. We can reverse it. We can park it. We can no pack it or we can sell. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can hire it. At least we have a fair idea of. Now, what are the things we can use to describe the car? The name, the color, model, shape, size. Is a car number or plate number. Horse. Serial number, chassis or chassis number. Come again. Okay, and what are you saying? Our mobile devices have. Okay.
Now the way our cars are moving forward to electronics, are they assigning MAC addresses to you, or this time they are not?
Honestly, I don't know. But you know that for the chassis, it's still unique. So for now, I think that is their unique identity. But for MAC address,
because cars will be yes.
the GPS device can have a MAC address. The GPS device can have a MAC address. But the car itself, the reason is, you know, there's a car that runs on Android. Yeah. There's a car that runs on Android.
The driverless one.
I don't know whether it's driverless or not. But I know Android operating system, there are cars that run on Android. So it's turning to an internet device, which I really think. No. Android. I don't know. Maybe I'll search into it. Yeah. Please, are we okay with this concept? This is the whole thing. This can take even like 3 months. Let's get it across. When building, you know, the building like writing code in every file, writing function in every file. This is how you split your things. Are we okay? Whatever you want to do. Let's say it is a site. You have a class, or like you have a file, it's a login file. That means you have a file like an object login. Are we okay? You will have an object like, let's say, credentials, member registration. You have so many things you'll be conceptualizing, and then you'll be building them. Each one you'll be having things that describe it and actions you can take on it. And when these two combine, it forms an object. In concept, that is an object. And that is where the concept of object-oriented comes in. So that means the programming you are doing is object-oriented. Everything you are looking at as an object. And if you say what makes an object, yes, it has things that describe it, and it has action that can be taken on it. And technically, you will say it has properties and functions, or like properties and methods, depending on which language you are using. Are we okay with it? So that is everything you'll be working with. Conceptually, that is how you'll be looking at them. Login is an object. So it will have its properties, it will have its adjectives. So add like they say adjectives the same as properties, and its methods. Sometimes you can look at this object and say, okay, I can fix it with this object to make one object. You can look at this object and say, no, I can split this into individual objects. It all depends on your design, how you want to do it. But this content, please, let's take it very important.
It's even possible that those properties themselves can be objects.
Oh yeah, there's that possibility. For example, I think under the building, someone mentioned like material. Material can also be an object. Someone mentioned tools. Tools can also be an object. What is the name of the tool? What is the color of the tool? What is the size of the tool? So that is how the breakdown goes. So that is it for the functions, and this one I jump in because we are not tackling it fully. We are moving on. That's why I chip this one in. The whole concept you have to get in mind is your code will not be that spaghetti. Everything will be everywhere. Everything will be everywhere. You group them, and to create a file, you should have that in mind. This is what this file is going to do. Are we okay? And it should contain only that information. If it's a file about tax, then it should contain only tax information. That is how it will help you when you have to come and fix errors later. Are you okay? Okay, then let's jump into, please, those who had issue with functions. Is there something else? Those who had issue with functions. For the PHP, I've thought I don't know how. Maybe you have to be one-on-one with a person. Because going over again means going over variables, the echo, the what, so many. So let's move on and keep praying. Now, what we want to do again is, we started with, let's say we started from scratch, HTML. Then from there, we went to Bootstrap. Why did we go to Bootstrap? Okay. Now we're doing HTML. And then we want to download Bootstrap and use. Why did we do that?
We downloaded Bootstrap to help us minimize the pain of creating our own styles.
Yes. I like that. I like that. That pain. We spend so much time doing nothing with the HTML. So much time, isn't it? You spend so much time, and your footer will be hanging somewhere. You do never come down. So that is why we went for the Bootstrap, to at least enhance things, to reduce the working time. Are we okay? So what we want to also see is there's another layer we can go. Are you okay? There's another layer we can go, and they call it CMS. Who has come across it before? So let's say this is our site, right? This guy is here, and then let's say Jumbotron is here. We have our services. This is another service. Okay, there are some two big guys here. We don't know what they are for. And then we have our footer here. This is the site. This is our interface. Now, we started with the HTML here. Then we built some CSS on it. We struggle. No Vim. So you went for Bootstrap. See, the whole thing we want to achieve is a design like this. And then we struggled here, we couldn't. You came here, we couldn't. Are you okay? Not that we couldn't, but it takes unnecessary time.
Yes.
Now, if you want to use this CSS and Bootstrap to get a site that someone will pay for, it can take you like 3 months. Just, I need a site, right? Then you will come, create a folder, create a file, name it index, start doing nonsense in it, then create another file, and call it. Hey, it can take you 3 months. 3 months guys is too small. It can really take time. So the easier way is to go for Bootstrap. Are you okay? To go for Bootstrap. The Bootstrap will make it faster. To let's say the 3 months you were skipping, or let's say 2 months. Or if you stop everything, then let's say 1 month, you can do it. Now anyone who the Bootstrap, it's not better. Yeah, the Bootstrap to the same way it's not easy, and the whole thing too is when someone approach you that I need a site, if you even tell him 2 months, no, it's too long. That's what the person will tell you. Yes, if you even say 2 months, I don't mean like some overhauling project. Let's say I need a site for my company or something. If you tell him 2 months, you tell him it's too long. Just 2 months, 2 months. When you can spend like a week on footer, and the person will tell you 2 months is too much. So he needs like 2 weeks. Are you okay? So that means you can't go this way. Are you okay? So all those people who need sites that they think 2 weeks is too much, that means they don't know what goes into it. Just go and pick somewhere and give it to them and go your way. You get the whole show. If the person tells 2 months is too much, then the person doesn't even know what goes into a site. So just go for one of the already built ones and just put his images there and give it to him, and take your money and go your way. So that is what we are going to look at. That is the content management systems. It's like they are already built sites. Are you okay? They are already built sites. There you pick. The jumbotron is there already. The footer is there already. The everything menu, everything is well arranged already. So you can do your own menu. The jumbotron you can change images. You can do whatever you want to do with it. But the structure is there already. So when you pick something like 3 days or 4 days, you can redesign it to match what the person needs. Are you okay? Once the person tells you like 2 months is too much, he doesn't know or she doesn't know what she's after. What she wants to see is a site, and that's all. You go your way. So that is where this content management systems come in. And let's say for my side, from February 11th, if you've been sleeping all day and didn't get anything, don't miss this one. Don't miss this one. Are you okay? Don't miss this. Right after this, you redesign your site. You see, I'm not saying it, but you redesign it. Are you okay? Let's all try and get what this is. Because this one, 2 days, you can build a site, you take your 2,000, you go away. If the person doesn't know what it is, you tell him 3,000, you go your way. It's no joke. You can even say 4,000. Look, if the person says 2 months is too much, then he doesn't know what he's saying. So just charge and pray, depending on what the person can afford. Are you okay? And what you need to build this site, the domain name, that one you need it. And we know that one is around, I think, 80 cities thereabout. Let's say from. Hey, are you an ass? I'm not sure you're one of his agents. Eh? You're not an answer. That's fine. Yeah, maybe it's one of them. It make the world scary. This one. Don't worry, you'll get. Please, are we on track? We know you need a domain, right? And depending on which one you are registering, whether you are registering .com, .org, or let's say .net, or .co, or whatever, but mostly is the .com, .org, or the .net, and it's roughly between, let's say, 70 to 80 or 85 thereabouts cities. That's the domain name. Whether .com, I think .com is somehow less than the .org or the .net, and that depends on what the person is going to use the site for. So, like, you tell me you need a site, I'll ask you what for. Say, like, I have a charity organization, or I have an NGO, or I have we have an association, we have this. Then automatically you should click that is .org. You see, or like .net, or we are a group, a club, we are this. You get it? Then in that case, .org or .net, what any of them will go. But if the person is using for business, then you go for .com for the person. Now you see? Yeah, .com. Yeah, so like .com, that is commercial. .org, that is organization. .net, that is network. There is .mail for military. There is I think now they've added B's for business. There is .ngo. There is .tech. So many. But still, the catchy ones are the .com, .org, and then the .net. For example, if I tell you my site is Abdul Basit, you get it? If I say my site is Abdul Basit, by default, it's .com that will come to the person's mind. Let's say the person forgot, did he say it's .com or .org? Now, when that comes to the person's mind, the default one the person will type is .com. That .tech, .biz, .ngo, those things will not even come to the person's mind. So there's still a kind of flavor around the .com. So you've gotten that, let's say, maximum, and in order not to, try transaction costs and other things comes in. So for your best bet, just peg it at 100 cedis. Are you okay? Like mobile money transaction, they will charge. If it's credit card or like Visa or debit, they will Visa or Master, which of them they will charge. If it's Bitcoin, they will charge. Whatever you are using, they will charge. So to be on the safer bet, just peg it at 100 cedis, 150. It's not haram. You can charge 150. Or it is. Sheikh, it's not. Sheikh said it's not. So that is it. So that is it. Now you've gotten this, then you will have to pick a name, right? You pick a name you want to use. So let's say the first try we did was this. So let's say zongohub.com. Let's say this is what calls the 100 cities. Now, where are you going to host it? Are you okay? Don't charge the person 3,000 and host it on the free space, please. But pay for hosting. Are you okay?
You want it on a big space. Midnight, 1 hour.
But it depends on the people that you use. Abba, you try them at 3,000 and still go and put it on 000 web post.
Like these days, website, like the people who make like prefer to do websites.
A lot. I don't know if it's this class. There is a serious research going on if website is still valid. But as at now, it's still valid. Every company wants to get it. There is this, I think, Wired or so. So company like that, they are making a research to see if company can fully survive without a website, like just using social media. They are doing that research and it's promising, but still, sites are valid. I can even say maybe for the next 10 years, site will still be valid. Site will still be valid. And even these places they are making this, it's not this part though. That is US and that's where they are making it. So here, you can still squeeze money from people. There are still spaces for you. Yeah, there are still spaces for websites. So where you do your hosting, and the hosting is around, let's say, 200 cedis a year. 200 cedis a year. And that is it. So you should know your charges, right? So that you not run loss. It's around 200 cedis a year. No, don't go to the free one. Don't go. Yeah.
Can you buy your own?
Come again.
Like, you buy your own?
Yes, if you are buying, that space is for you. But the computer itself is not for you. But on that computer, there is a space they've given to you. You have access to it. You can log in, put your files there, do everything. Take out the file, do everything. But you don't even see the computer. You only go through online to that space, and that's all. So basically, it's yours. You pay for. But I don't pay.
Let's assume I buy a space for that. I'm going to go
Yes.
I'll buy a space and I'm trying to go for.
Yeah, I think one of our first days I made mention of that.
Yeah.
This hosting you are going to pay 200 cedis a year for. 200 cedis a year, depending on the company. So maybe it's one of the things you can read around to see where I have to like put my eggs. The thing is, some will tell you this space mostly is around, let's say, 50 gig. This 200 cedis a year is 50 gig. Others will give you, no, some can give as low as 1.5 gig. Yeah, for 200 cedis. Some can give as low as this. You see? It's low because you've seen someone is giving you 50. That's why you are seeing this one as low. Are you okay? Yeah, but a site is just around 500 megabytes. This normal site for companies is around 500. If 500 is even high. No, technically you don't upload videos on the site direct. Just push them to YouTube and bring the link there. Are you okay? So YouTube will be doing the hosting of the videos for you. Yours technically will be the images and then the files, the text and other things. Give the videos to YouTube. Are you okay? So even the 1.5 is still enough. 3 sites. Yeah, that is the concept of adding more sites. It's just a recent invention. Not even all sites will allow you that this space you bought, use it to host for more sites. Are you okay? And so you don't put all your bet on that. There is another type of hosting you can make. There are different types of the hostings. You can, yes. There is another account called reseller. There's reseller. In that case, you have made your mind, I'm going to buy and resell to other people. That one is there. But that one, you will not get it 200 or like this price a year. Because in that case, you are going for business. Are you okay? But just the one you buy to host one site, And that is now there are ways around it that you can use to host more than one. Are you okay? And so you don't blame them that you can only host 3. The 2 is bonus. So I know of these people because that's why I host the Namecheap. They give 50 gig. Yes. For roughly, well, the price is in dollars. If where's my phone? It's small, some $250 or something, $25 or something dollars. No, it's not like 25. I think $25-$30 there about for a year. For a year, so that is, you have to take note of that charge. Let's say this, and then this one to just make it let's say this $30. Have it this way. The thing is, if you tell someone, let's say if someone comes to you, look, I have people who came around August last year, they need a site. Up to now they are preparing. You get it? Last year September, August, up to now they are preparing. What that means is the price given them doesn't hold now.
Okay, it's changed.
Yes, because the domain name you will pay in dollars, the hosting you will pay in dollars. So it's good when quoting, you quote dollar to the person. You get it? If you tell him a year is $50, anytime he comes, because if you go to the site, that price will still be there. But if you have to convert your CDs, you will lose. You will lose. You see this terrific speed, this CD went off late. So if you had to, if your quote were in CDs, but when he is to pay, you can tell him at any point you can pay CD equivalent. So that person will do the conversion and then pay. Or if he insists that I need it in cities, I'm in Ghana, then tell him I'm giving you a proposal, but it lasts for 2 weeks. It's valid for 2 weeks. You get it? And some will go to that extent that no, it has to be in cities. If he says that, tell him I'm giving you in cities, but it's valid for 2 weeks, or it's valid for 1 month. So in that case, if he's not able to bring the money to start the site within that 1 month, there has to be a renegotiation. If not, you will lose. Are you okay with that? So now we've gotten this. We've gotten our domain. We've gotten this. For most sites, this is all you need. Even with this, we are going to look at. For most people that will approach you, company that will approach, this is just what you need. What is next is your skills. Are we okay?
Yeah. I was going through one people that since you did mention of the words, including email and some stuff like be protecting your so many stories and they were charging for it.
Yes, that's why I said for most. You get it? Meaning there are exceptions. Are you okay? These things you are talking of, like I said, about 70% of people don't even know what it is. Are you okay? There is that domain protection. For example, I think I also talk about this in one of our early days. Like, if you buy domain name, automatically it comes with emails. You just create them. You go to your account and create it. So like if you buy basit.com, you just go to your account and then you press add it, put in a name, you put let's say info, then it will create info at basit.com. The email is created, but someone will charge for that. It's unlimited. You can create info, feedback, Kwame, Kweku, Salam at what. Someone will tell you, I'll give you a maximum of 5. For like 5 emails. If you want additional, you pay more. But actually, there's nothing new he's adding. You're just going to create those things in addition. Are we okay with that? So there are more things you can add, but I'm looking at you, the investment you have to make to get that site done. This is how it will cost you. That comes under your pricing. But for your site, this is the money that has come out of your pocket. This one, there is no way, if you are able to do the site free for the person has to pay for these two. And let the person know it's an annual cost. It's very important. Especially relating to NGOs. They tend to think it's one-time pay. Let the person be clear, it's not like that. This amount, you will pay it every year. Every year. Are you okay? So, when you are done with this, then you can go for Bootstrap and spend 2 months, or you go for this and spend 3 days. 3 days. You can even use one day. No, like 3 hours. Yes, especially if the money is ready. It's not a joke. If the money is ready, you can use 3 hours. Hey. So the whole thing is, these are ready-made like templates they built. Are you okay? They are website examples. Are you okay with that? But there's a structure you have to install that website in. Do we get that? There are website examples they built already, but you need a framework, a structure to install that site in it. Are we okay? So that means before you can make use of this one, you have to install a structure first, which is the framework. So, example of these frameworks, they have is it Joomla? You have this. There's Drupal, and then there is WordPress. There is it Can? There is there are many frameworks that you will install, and inside it you can install maybe like the Bootstrap you downloaded. You get it? So you have to install the structure. Then inside the structure is what is called the framework. This is content management system, something like this. So there is this, there is this, there is this, and there is this. This one, we can take it out because outside Ghana no one knows it, but it serves the same purpose. Let's take this one out. That one was built by K University. That's the framework they built. Like Can P, like initial Can. Yeah, that is it. So, but globally, these are the 3 competing ones. These are the 3 competing ones globally. So, when you need to build such a fast track site, then in that case, you either use this, or you use this, or you use this. These are the frameworks, like the structure, the blueprint that you have to get on your site. So inside that one is where you are going to install site templates, or like example of site already built. Are you okay with that? Now if you check the data around them, this one they say this one is the cheapest to learn. That is what people are saying, the communities, right? This is the cheapest to learn. This is the most difficult to learn. And this one is in between. Are we okay? This is the most easiest to hack. This is the most difficult to hack. And this is in between. Is it? Which one? No, not difficult. The hacking is in between. No, the easy to is not is in between. This one is easy to learn, easy to build sites with, and easy to hack. This one is difficult to learn, difficult to build sites with, and difficult to hack. This one is relatively difficult, less to learn, to hack, and everything is in between. Are we okay? For strange reason, or maybe because of their position, this is what most people do prefer. The WordPress. But actually, this is what is strong. This is what is strong. Any of them has a big community. The good thing is they are all built on PHP. They are all PHP frameworks. They are all open source. They are all PHP frameworks. They are all open source. Are you okay with that? So we are going to settle on the WordPress. Isn't it fair? Quran says don't take extremes. So we are going to be in the So so like that is it. Let's get the concept right. You buy your domain, you buy your hosting, you want to build a site, but you're not going to start with this HTML or the CSS, creating your CSS, whatever file. What you are going to do is to search for one of these frameworks and then install it on the site. Now, when you install one of these it will give you the chance to install a site template, example of a site. This one is not the site itself. This is the structure that will hold the site. Are we okay with that? So once we've got the understanding of this, we are going to settle on this. And we've gotten the point that they are all ATM, how do you call it? PHP. They are all PHP. The frameworks are PHP. And they are open source. What it means is, if you download this and there is something you are not fine with it, you are at liberty to do whatever you want to do with it. You can make your own changes to it. Are we okay? So in that case, let's see, how do we get this? Yes.
You said WordPress.
Okay.
And then
Joomla. Can, the other one was Can. But that one it was built at KNUST here. So I don't trust it. No, but they've done well, isn't it? Yeah, they've done well.
With respect to like these new frameworks,
Okay.
and you said you can install the Bootstrap.
Yeah, you can have a site template that was built with Bootstrap.
And then
Install it on this one of these frameworks. You get it. So that is it. No. There are so many templates developed with different frameworks. And once you install this, you can also start from scratch if that's what you want. When you install the framework, you can also start from scratch and be building your site. Oh yeah, if you have 3 months to spare. So that is it. And so let's go to our site. The 00 account we created. Let's go there.
Right now.
Yes, right now. Where is my cable? or I can connect to one of these. Is it? Yeah, I have to buy a speed. That one is cheap. This one, is that the one we are using? What is? That's D.
Yeah.
So we are looking at the website itself for the 1500 web host.
Go to 00 web host. Okay. Are we there? Now let's see here. I've logged into this account. If you buy a space, this is a hard disk space to host, you get something like this, like C panel, like control panel. I made mention, like if you come here, just like your computer, there are different things you can use to make settings in your computer. The same way, that space you bought, there are so many things you can use. So what we are in, like from here, email account, right? So if I want to create email account, I'll just click on it. It's asking me is it create here? Yeah, so here on which site I want to create it, I'll select the site, which name I want to use. Let's say Zongo Hub. What password? 123. Why do they keep telling me enter? You guys are not correct. Okay, so like what is the maximum size of that email? You can give a limit to that account. Are you okay? And then you just press create. That's all, it's created. So this is, let's say, email the person can use. Are you okay? And where do you even use it? Let's go back. Somewhere here, email something. Squirrel. Access email. Email client. Let me see this. So many things you can do in it, but what we are interested in is here. Like some of the things you can install on the site. Are you okay? These are some of the things you can install on the site. So this is the WordPress I talk of. Abanti cards. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it has to be with e-commerce. Are you okay? I'm sure if you look at, so far as it's having that cart in it, then it gives a clue that it's for e-commerce. So this one to the scene, this is the Joomla PHP. So many things you can install on the site. Others are for accounting, others are for SMS management. It's like they are pre-designed frameworks. Then you will install and then you'll be using them. You see, for pools, if you want to do some pool on the site, project management, okay, e-commerce, ERP, guestbook, if you want to have this on your site, so many support, customer support, plenty, educational. There is this. Is it? Is it module or there is some install. Oh, there's some open source framework for education. That alone, you can run a business on it. You just go set it up for them. They can use it for assessment. They can use it for reporting, for attendance, for basically everything, to set quizzes, to students can fill it online, students can discuss things there, everything. Yours is just to do the installation for them, and you'll be charging them every month. I can't remember. It begins with M. something. Good. I think it's something like this. Google is good. Is this? You just have to guess the spelling. Yes, this is it. This is it. It's also open source. It's also open source. Yeah, it's free. No, this one, it has so many features. This one to the same thing, you buy domain name and then you install it there. So if you go to the school, they will pay for domain name, then you install this automatic. So many things they will get, like they can submit, the student can submit piece online, teacher can post assignment there, they will go and answer, he can track, he can close. So many things is there. You have to learn how to set it up, and that's all. And you pretend you did it. That's all. Just go to him and I can do this. Just have to charge him. There is this. I can't remember it. Ghana Health Service. DIMS 2. If any has worked with Ghana Health Service, they have a system they use. That's what all the health facilities use. DIMS 2. It's open source. The guy just submitted proposal to go and do installation for them. And the whole Ghana, that is what everybody, like all the health facilities, that's what they are using. They didn't build it. Just to set it up and be supporting, like adding small features here and there. That is all. And they are pretending they did it. That is all. Just have to know it and pretend you did it. Oh, it's not good to pretend. So that is it. This is very good. This thing is good. So let's go back to this one. And like I said, the steps are the same. If you go to Google, you get so many videos on it. How to do the installation, how to set up a class, how to set up, let's say, a quiz section. You get videos around all those things. So yours is to charge the person, buy the domain name, link it to your host, and then install this on that place, in that host for the person, and that is all. That's all. So there are so many things here. You realize somebody will say he needs. You don't have to go and start from scratch. The things are already here. You have to install them, and then that's all. Let me see if it's under this, because it's also relating to education. Yeah, see, it's there. When I went under education, you see it's there. So that means you can just straight away install it. If it may be even not in the same site, you can create a subdomain, right? Like something, we have Google, and then we have gmail.google. So the Gmail is a subdomain, or like map dot. Yeah, so like if I have a site like the name of your school, Al-Huda. Let's say alhuda.com, right? Forgive me, the spelling is wrong. So you can come here and then you say education.alhuda. So this is where you will install the Nodo. So that is how the subdomains work. Alternatively, it will have been something like this, /education. So when the person goes here, he's on the site direct. When he types /education, it takes him there. Other than that, you will have to buy another domain name and install that other features you have. But you can use the concept of subdomain to do those ones. And creating those ones too, there's no magic in it. Just go to your, where are we? Yeah, here in one of the sections, you see subdomain. Somewhere here, email accounts, email forwarding. This one, for example, email forwarding. When you create an email, let's say if you have a site, alhuda.com, right? But you have your email you use already. Are you going to stop and use like co@alhuda, or you want to keep using your old email? Now, if you want to use your old email, then the email you create here, you can link it to your original Yahoo. Are you okay? So you give me like co or like whatever at alhuda.com. But if I send email, it will come to the Gmail you use already or the Yahoo you use already. And if you also send me email, you are sending it through the Yahoo or the Gmail, but it will come to me as co@alhuda.com. That is this whole concept of email forwarding. It's simple. You just have to create it. The subdomain is up. I should go up again. I can't use subdomain. So it just asks for a name, and then you give the name. What name do you want to use? And then which site you want to use the subdomain on, and that's all. You create it, and that's all. I have some samples of them here. There are some default ones. Once you create the site, it comes already. So that's it. And you see it as a folder. When you want to do installation, you can install WordPress. You can install any other feature on your site. You can install it there. That prevents you from buying different domain for different features. So that is it. This is where we are. These features, the scripts. So let's say I want to install this. So install now, not now. I want to install it later. So okay, let me go here. Let's install. This is the version it's asking me. Where do I want to install it? This, right? Or this? I would prefer this, so that when you type like let's say huda.com, automatically the browser will add the www to it. Say if not, you have to do some other settings before your site and the one with the www will be seen as the same thing. Where are we? Okay, so I'll choose this and I want to install it in this one. I want to install it here. So it's asking me what will be the title of the site. That is top here. This one is showing something WordPress. What do I want to show there? So I'll see this is Zongo Hub. Like, what is our tagline, or like our slogan or anything? So what should I put there? In God we trust. In God we trust. So okay. So what about if your language doesn't support capital letters? Doesn't mean you don't believe in God. It doesn't make sense. If your language doesn't support capital letters, what will you do? This one, or which one? The site. Okay, I've bought this already. This one is bought already. I'm doing the installation. But if you are to buy, definitely there will be that checks, right? If you are to buy, there will be that checks. It doesn't exist. But are you okay? No. At the point you are buying it, let's say detectghana.com. If I come here, where do I go? Here. Web portal, and then Wordpress. I'll log in here. I think it's this. They look the same, but they are not the same, right? My password has the same structure, but any site I visit, part of that site is part of the site. You see, it's part of the password. Any site I visit, part of that site, the URL is part of my website, my password. So the structure is the same, but there are parts that change depending on the site I visit. So let's say I want to register a name. This is where the check will be done. So KJTR, there was a time I checked this. It was available, but I think it isn't anymore. Someone is using it. They are asking me if I'm a human being. So let me say yes, I am. So search, right? It doesn't exist, I know. So it's not available, but I think there should be provision for buying. It's generating suggestions. Don't worry, I don't need any. Explore packages now. Okay, they are not making provisions for buying. So let's search for another one. I think we tried last with Zongo Hub, and it was available. Okay, this one is available. So this is where the check is done. Are you okay? These are two companies. This Detect is in Kumasi here, but I don't know their office. But the name chip is I think California or where. If you go to the footer, the company is somewhere here. So I made mention that you can choose to buy both your hard disk space and the domain name from one company, or you can buy from different companies. I decided to buy from different companies, so that is where are these guys? I don't know where they are, but it's US and they've been operating since 2001. So that is it. So this is where the checking is done, and this is the price for the domain name. And if you add to your cart and then you go to checkout, these are some of the things you were mentioning, the protection and other things. These ones, don't mind them. Don't mind them. So
like if we want, we can add this as part of the
yeah, if the let's say the client needs this, yes. DNS management. No, we are not doing the hosting here. I'm doing it at a different company, so I don't need this. Now ID protection. Now if you check this site, let's say who is. We have this starlight.com. I'm not buying. Okay, so let's go here. So this is the name. What am I seeing? Okay. I think there's limited. Starlight limited. Yeah, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. This is the details. It's my details, but it's not my site. Are you okay? Now if you want to check who owns this site, it's my details that will come, but it's not my site. So I protect the customer, the client, from exposing his emails, his telephone numbers, his house address and other things. That is the IP protection they are talking of here. So you are going to buy domain name. If you want the tech to hide your telephone number, your other things, and they will expose theirs, they will charge you this price every year. I've never had the need for. Yeah, like I expose mine, but I don't want the company to expose mine, like to hide mine. They should leave it as it is. If someone hacked me, it's my own cup of tea. So I'm not paying for any extra. So if your customer needs that protection, then you will have to do this for the person. But if you think you can do that protection, then you will expose your details and charge him this price. Are you okay? And last, I made mention, it depends. Maybe the person is on high profile personality in the country. He doesn't want anybody to know he's behind the site. So in that case, you hide his details and then you expose your details. So that is it. This is where you make the payments, everything. And we know this DNS. This is what links the domain name you bought and the hosting space. Are you okay? This is what links the domain name you bought and the hosting space. Now, if I want DTech to host this particular site, the Zongo Hub, I will leave this ones as it is. Are you okay? But if I want to host this at Namecheap, then I have to go and bring Namecheap DNS computers here. These are like individual computers. This is for redundancy. So like if this one is offline or this one is down, this one can take over. If this one is not strong, this one can take over. So they have up to 4 like backups. You see why it's difficult to host. So if you want to host your website, you don't just need your own, you need those backups computers. That is basically the whole internet is like surviving on backups. That is why it's reliable. Most likely it will be on if you have to check something. There will be 1 or 2 sites down, but the internet itself, it relies heavily on backups. Heavily. Google has computers all over the world. All over. So when this one goes down, this one takes over. And I read somewhere like every minute or so they change hard disk. Hard disk spoils. Every minute. They change hard disks. Like the hard disk crashes always. But because of the redundancy, so many backups, they are able to survive. So that is it. So if I want to use Namecheap, then I will go to Namecheap. They also have another account I have to log in and then get these details. Let me check it if I can get in one of these. Let's duplicate this one and then we can go back to the site domains. So let me see. This one I've not paid for. So let me see. Okay, or let's check this one. So you see, this is the Namecheap, their DNS. Please, are you okay with the configurations?
Yes.
I bought the domain name from Namecheap, but I don't want to do the hosting there. My host is Namecheap, so I will copy Namecheap DNS. And this DNS, like I said, they're just computers, and this is their domain names, which they can have their own IPs, but we have been given this. So once you buy your domain name, you replace their DNS with your host. But if that is the same place you want to do the hosting, you leave it there. Are we okay? But they have only 2 backups. They have only 2 backups. But for availability, I've never had a problem with them. Anytime you check the sites is online. So that is it. Once you set this part, you go on, then that's all till you are told to make payment. At the payment section, there is mobile money, there is I think Visa card, credit card, and so many. So depending on the one you are using, if mobile money, you get to key your mobile money number, and then you get approval. I think it's within 1 minute. It will come, then you approve it, and that's all. You are done.
Hosting.
Come again.
You can host it. See, maybe I buy figure.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'm doing somebody's thing. Can I host that person on that space that I bought?
Yes, that is the advantage you are getting. Now, if you come here, where are those boys? Where there were plenty of things, you know. I think somewhere here or here. Okay, this is where we want to do the installation.
Yeah.
Now let's see something here. Let's duplicate this, so this can go back. This can go back. If you come here, there's something called domain packing. Domain packing. or no, add-on domains. Yes, other hosts will call domain packing, add-on domains. So once you go here, you can add someone's domain. Are you okay? That's the same $50 you pay though. So this account is unlimited. Other companies will tell you you can only add 2 more to yours. You can add, others will tell you can add 9 to yours to get 10. Others will take and host a maximum of 50. But for these people, it's unlimited. So far as you've not reached the 50 gig size. Nah, it's name cheap. Yes, they will bring you here. Yeah, actually. Maybe there are some other goodies somewhere I haven't found out. But I've been with this for about 4 years or so. And I don't feel like going elsewhere. Are we okay? So like your limit is the 50 gig. So if a site here costs like take a size of let's say 20, like 200 megabytes, then let's say 50 is what? Is it 5,000 or 5 million? 50,000. So divided by 200. That means you can host 250 sites, and every year you pay $50. Every year you pay $50. You say?
They will be paying you.
Definitely. They should pay now. So like 250 times 50. That's 12,500 every year. Yes. This is dollars. So you see, the work actually is for you to struggle and get customers. This one doesn't have to do with building or no. You just have the space and you're pushing them there. The big work is you getting customers to come and host. And this one, once you register them, you don't do any other work. Once the year 10, the payment is coming. This is not additional work you are doing. If the person's site go down, you can charge him for. If you have to add some features to the site, you can charge him for that. This is just the hosting. This is just the hosting. So now let's see, you have the site. Let's do the installation. Okay, so this is where you add it. This is where you add that person's site. You get it. And once you add the person's site, if you want to do installation, it will show. Once, let's say here we are not buying again. We want to do the installation. Where were we? Go away. Somewhere here. Yeah, this is where we wanted to install. So once you've done the proper configurations, linking the DNS to the right host, it depends. Others take like 4 hours. Others will take like 8 hours. Others like even like 30 minutes. But the maximum they will give you is 24 hours. It's called DNS resolution. Like when you fix, let's say if I put Namecheap DNS here, globally, all computers have to be updated of this new domain name I bought. So you see, it's fair to give it 24 hours. You say, even 1 year. So that's the DNS resolution. You know, there are routers everywhere. So each router has to update its records. That now there is a new domain name. Now there is a new website. Now there is something like this. So other sites will give you 30 minutes. But they will give you like maximum of 24. Which if you are like a 30 minutes time, the resolution will be done. Especially if, let's say you host there already, that is not your first time. I've seen that difference. If it's your first time, it takes some time. But if you are doing this add-on domains, it normally takes, I don't know how the algorithm works, but for like differences in it. So that is it. Now if I just put that domain name, it's not valid. But if I put something like zongohub.com, it can't guarantee it's valid. But when I click, it will tell me it's going on. So if it's able to see is a good domain name which is bought paid, then it will do the resolution and update all the routers. So that is basically how you add other people's domain to that same space you bought. Yeah, are we okay with that? Okay. Yes, this one came here automatically. It's making in relation to the original site you bought. That is the referencing it's making here. But definitely once you put it here, this will come, and when you go to do the installation, you see this site there, and you can access it just like it's a normal site. Nothing shows you added it to another space. So that is it for where did we want to do the installation. This is it. So here, round we've come back. We are choosing this. We know why we are not choosing this, because we've not subscribed for this. So this is the this that is available. I'm choosing this. Yeah. This one. Yes. So this is plural and this is singular. Or is that not it? Yeah, the S here is SSL, secure circuit layer. You get it? And that is what brings this padlock when you visit the site. Are you okay? This padlock, or sometimes you see the name of the company somewhere here in addition to the padlock. For example, you see the padlock is that the name of the company is there. If you just want to see the padlock, there is an amount you pay. If you want to see the name in addition to the padlock, there's an amount you pay. That's aside buying the domain name. You pay for the padlock and you pay for that name adding to the padlock. And they all have their strength too. So many ways of cheating us. So that is it. But it's an indication that if someone types something in your site, let's say if I assume my password is 123, if I type here, from where I type it to their computer, this 123 is protected, right? Maybe it's changed to something like this, and then it will be moved from my machine to their machine. So when someone gets it in between, this is what the person is seeing. The person is not seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the actual password. You get it? That's what the S does. So it's mostly important if your site has to do with payment. For that, you can't skip the S. You have to pay for it. And that one too, every year you'll be paying for that renewal. So we are here. This is the version, the current version. We don't have a reason to go for previous one, so let's maintain it. And we are installing it on this site, like depending on which site you have in your host. So this is why we are putting it. Now let's read this. The directory is relative to the domain and should not exist. To install at what / just type this, or to install in the root, just leave it blank. Now if you leave it blank, then it's going to install at golfstate.org. Are you okay? If I put a word like this there, then it's going to install at / this. You have to come in before you see that WordPress installation. That is what it's telling us. So that subdomain I was talking of, or like if you wanted to install that, is it Moodle or whatever it is, in let's say a folder called education, then in that case here you put the word, let's say education, or maybe like class, or whatever name you want to give to that assignment, that project. You put it here, and then So there's no way of suing these people. So messages are risky. I keep saying, like, you see it coming from your bank and you'll be happy. you look at it as I have to present what for validation. So please, are we clear with this place?
Yeah.
So then the site In God We Trust, and then this one is asking you like from one place you can manage more than one site. Are we okay? From one place you can manage more than one site. That is what this is asking us. I've never said yes. It's always empty. So now let's take notes. We are to create an account here on that site. This is what we use to log in to go and install the template. Remember, all this we are doing is the framework. So at this point we will create an account, and that is what we are going to use to log in to be able to install the framework. So for this purpose, I'm going to install it here. Where is asking of directory what. I'm going to install it here. Zongo Hub.
So we just need to create a folder.
Yes, .org/Zongo Hub before. Because if I even to do the installation, it will be conflict. It will tell me there is index file already, because there is site there already. You will have to delete it before you can do the new installation. So now the account I'm to create, I'm calling it Zongo Hub. Now what password are we using? Let's use something like this. Zongo Hub, let's say at 123. I'm deleting it right away when we are done. So there's no value memorizing it. Let's leave it there and move on. So email, no, it will send you the installation details. I've not even created this email yet. So mostly I use my email for this. So which language? English, we are fine. Now limit login attempts. Limit login attempts. If you say yes, it will limit it to, I think, 3. So if someone tries, like for example, you've picked this password, you got it wrongly, you try logging into the site 1, 2, you couldn't, 3, you couldn't, it will block your IP. Or maybe it will tell you try in 5 minutes time or in 30 minutes time. That is what this one does. Of course I need it. Classic editor, I don't know what it is, but I can imagine, because most editors, they call old ones like classic. The new ones, they will have different names for them. My guess was right. It restores the previous WordPress editor. So I don't know why I have to go back to that. Now let's see this. Manage multiple sites. These are plugins. I don't need it. Web total cache. This allows fast. Okay, for search optimization. Okay, and then these are all third-party things you can install. Now you can go to advanced. So many things there. I think this one is important. Auto update. Now one thing with these frameworks, they are open source. So a lot of people know how they work. Are you okay? So anybody with dirty mind can kind of read through it and see how to circumvent it. It's not easy, but once you set up, you can see the flaws. Are you okay? So when such flaws are identified, new updates like patches are released instantly. There is a community protecting it, and so once they find such a vulnerability, they build patches quickly. So this is where that thing comes into play. If you enable it, then when you are even roaming and there is a new patch, automatically it updates itself. Are you okay? But if you leave it here, then you have to go manually to update it. You see, but it's not that straightforward. Sometimes you don't want it to do auto updates because it will override some of the things you've done. So you will want to look at the update and see which part of the framework is affecting before you will enable it. So it's not that straightforward whether you should allow auto or not, but I do allow it. So that is up to you. So if you choose this or this, that one is understandable. Auto update WordPress plugin. Now after installing the framework and you install an example of a site, there are so many other things you can install. For example, that example of a site you install, the footer is not nice. You can go and install footer. The menu is not nice. You can install menu. The widgets, things at the left side or the right side is not nice. You can install just those ones. Those are the plugins. They are just like PHP small scripts. So if your footer is not nice, you just search for one and then install to replace that footer. So when you install those one, do you want to do auto update? That is what they are asking you here. Now backup location, don't backup, auto backup once a week, once a day, daily, monthly, custom. This depends on how often that site is updated. There are some sites they only call you to update like 3 times a day, like a month, or like once every 3 months they will call you. Oh, you've done some projects, come for the videos and upload. So in that case, when the site even crash, within 3 months you don't lose a lot. You just lose one-time project. But if there are updates there every time, like new sites, like Tonato, Modern Ghana, where people upload things every second, then you even want your updates to be like every hour or every 30 minutes, in such a way that when your site is hacked or when your site anything happens, you will have at least just an hour loss. That is the whole thing. But you have to remember to be deleting old one, even though your hard disk will be full, because this backup and everything is that same 50 gig you are going to use to do those backups. So that is it. Now I made mention that all the top is for the framework. When you are done, then you install an example of a site, which in WordPress they call theme. So now, even during the installation process, when you are installing the framework, they have examples of those themes. Do you want to just bundle everything together? Are we okay? So you don't have to finish everything before you come back and then search for that template and install. So these are examples of sites made that you can just install. For example, this one, mostly you see the home page. This is how that site will look when you install it on your framework. You can go to more. These are different sites. You didn't do anything. Yours is just to install and you get this structure. What you will do is just to replace the content, the images and other things. That is all. So this is an example. If you install this is how your site will look. If you install, this is how it will look. And plenty. You can browse, go. Is there plenty? If you install, this is how your finished product will look like. So let's go back and then choose this. Are you okay? So now we are done. Email installation to this. What was the first email about? Okay, that's the admin. The email you want to associate with the account for like password reset and other things. And this one, push the installation to this email for me. So that is it. Now we are installing both the theme and the framework. Are you okay? The WordPress framework and the theme on it. So we just press this and keep praying. We've come far. If it doesn't work, we can't continue. We will push it to tomorrow. I'm done. So that is it. We didn't encounter any error. It's done. So
Can you encounter error?
come again.
In the process of install, can you encounter error?
A lot. I made mention, for example, if you are installing, for example here, when I try installing again, it will tell me there is an index file here already, so I can't install. There's an error. It will stop. You get it? Now whenever error comes, there will be a message for you to see to know what to do next. Are you okay with that? And they are telling us to tweet it. No. Now let's look at this path they are giving us. This is the site, right? This is the site. Now this is the link to the back end. Are we okay? This is the site, and this is the link to the back end where you do your changes, do your coding and other things. That is this part. Who can tell me the difference? The site and the path to the no, like what is the difference in writings with raw eyes? If you look at it, what is the difference here?
There is a slide.
Come again. Okay, the one down there. Yes, there's an admin attached to it. The first one doesn't have the admin. Are you okay? So it's a nice trick. If you want to check if a site is using WordPress, you can just go to the site and add wp.admin to it and see if the backend will come. I hope it makes sense. Some will change it. Some will change it if the person is aware that once you get, you know, you can start applying WordPress vulnerability attacks to it. Now it's a nice way. Most sites, if it's on WordPress, you know. If you type that site.com or .org and then slash, then you bring wp/admin, the back end will come. So let's see this, the one we have. Where is it? This is it, right? So this is the site. This is where we did the installation. This is what we have. We've not write even a single code. Far than what we did the whole month. Isn't it? Let's be fair to ourselves. We've struggled, but let's be fair. Come again. That is nicer than what he has done. I told you you change it. So we've not even write like a single code yet too. But this is what we have. No, we've not touched HTML, we've not touched CSS, we've not touched anything. So this is what we have. We've not looped yet. We've not looped yet. We've not done any linking yet. See, look, to get a menu like this, that you click, the menu will come. It's not easy. You have to write your HTML, your CSS, jQuery, so many things you have to combine before when you click on a menu like this, the menu will come this way. But you see, the menus are not there. So those are the additional things you will just write and add. And just some kind of like some drag and drop, and then the menus will come. Okay. Let's see the footer we have. You see, we have this nice footer. There is this one. I don't know how it's done. But if you click on it, it will bring back to the top of the page. It's there free for us. It's there free for us. So that is it for today. So God willing, tomorrow we will enter the back end and see how to add the menu, how to maybe add something to the footer. They say you don't need this, so how to take it away, and any other thing we have to do.
I was just going to ask for instance, the WordPress
Okay.
framework. Is it for sale? Like if they say it's open source,
Yeah.
so does that mean
It's free.
Wow.
It's free.
But the things that
The teams, all the teams we were seeing is free. Yeah, it depends. Like, you know, there are people also, that is their work. They develop the things for sale. If there are full company, that is what they do. They know there is a framework. People will need site examples. So theirs is to be building those site examples for sale. And others to build them for free. So if you go to the main site, wordpress.org, this is where you download the framework and download example of the site. You know, here because I was installing it in the host, it's there already.
Yeah.
But if you have to test it on your machine locally, you don't have internet, then you have to go and download the framework and download a sample of a site, which is a theme, before you can do the test on your machine. So if you come here, this is the WordPress, and then you download, that will give you the framework. Now if you go somewhere down, you should see example of WordPress. Where can we find theme? Yeah, themes. So if you come to themes, there are so many themes already built. So many themes. Like for example, if you want to do some like shopping sites where things will be there for sale, you just have to install this. After your framework, you install this. you are fine now, man. You're styling. So that is it. So these are the two things you need: the WordPress framework itself, which you can download from is it here we came, and then the themes. And I told you other people to have built some small scripts like footer script, menu script, contact us script, call widgets. So this is where you can also get them, plenty of them for sale, plenty. How to add, let's say, social media, the person's Facebook, what all will be on the site. They are all different scripts you have to download and install on the framework that you have. So that is it. Sheikh was about to ask.
Can you change the website name? Let's say
This one,
customer comes and he makes a different name. You have this one that you've done.
unfortunately, no. Once you buy it, it's done. What you can do is to build another site, or there's another way called redirect. There are different types of redirect. You can Google it. I think there's 301, 302 redirect. So in case, let's say the old one is Gulf State / Zongo Hub, and let's say the person comes in like, no, now I have another domain called zongohub.com. Now use this. No, you can't. What we have to do is that redirect, so that when someone types in this, automatically it will change to the Zongo Hub. Are you okay? So that is one of the things you can do, but the two must exist so that you can do the redirect, and you keep advertising the new one so that when the old one expires, you don't renew it. But when the person needs the new one, you have to buy a new domain and then build the site on it and be doing redirect until that old one expires, because maybe that's what customers know. So you can't just off it instantly. You just have to leave it there, but once they visit, it will redirect. If you want, before even the redirect, a message can come from this date our site is moving to this before the redirect will come. So like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, then you can do the final like okay.
So when you're downloading the templates,
Okay.
I saw something like
Demo. Yes. No. The demo here means have a feel of how it is. Like demonstration. Like whichever one you want to install. Here they were just giving us the landing page, the first page, but you can click it and see, okay, this is how the site looks like when I feel. That's what the demo means. All the sites on the WordPress who's there, they are free. In the worst scenario, there will be a premium version. This one will be free, but they will tell you, okay, there are some additional features. Maybe like this one, you can change the colors without going to the hardcore CSS. There can be a check. You just check the colors will change. Maybe this doesn't have, and if you have to change, you have to go to the code, find the CSS and change it. So they can bring a premium and say, oh, for the premium, you just have to click, the color will change. Are you okay? That is okay. Mobile version of the site. The mobile version of the site. In fact, this site you are installing out of the box, they match all standards. Are you okay? For example, if you build sites, you have to optimize it for mobile. This automatically has been taken into consideration already. It has been taken into consideration already. So like they are top level technologies used. And because of how it is, you might think it's for shallow things. Top companies use it. Top companies. The thing with site is this thing showing is not the logic. Are you okay? This is just the interface display, but that's what most companies will need. They are about their customers, the videos and other things. But it can happen that the whole business is maybe slash something, then the business itself will come. Let's say doing so many things. So for the interface, most companies, or like there are a lot of companies that use it. If you Google, you will see a lot of big companies. This is copy. Yes. They leave it there. Yeah, that is it. So it's so many things. It's so many things, and the code is there. Anything you don't need, you can go and take it off. Anything you want to add to the framework, you can add. That samples theme you downloaded and install. Anything you don't need, you can take it off. Anything you want to add, you can add. But this is the template for you. This is the template for you. So that is it.
For all these things, if you want to do, you have to connect to the internet.
If you want to try it locally, then download those two things I made mention of. One, the WordPress framework, and then two, any of the themes. Download it. If you go, what you just have to do is the host, the route you were working in. Are you okay?
Yeah.
This one, if you come here, you see I've put in this already. Let me take it off. This was, let's say, the site. Let's say this is what we were doing, right? So what I will do is, or what you will do is, copy everything, your index, your everything in the root. Just do them back up somewhere here. Let's say put them here. Now the WordPress you downloaded, it will go to downloads, right? Here, everything in it, highlight, copy it, and then paste it here. Yes, you want to run this in your local host. But I'm actually I was thinking of pushing this to tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do it. So that is all. Download the WordPress framework. The content, just copy everything. Go to your root. You know your root has index already. But WordPress, this one is also coming with its own index. So back up your file and then just paste this one and go to that localhost /8080 and pray it will come in the WordPress folder. No, you know it's zipped. So open the zip. There will be a folder in it called WordPress. Open that WordPress folder and then copy everything and paste in your root. So that is it. Once you copy and paste, if you go to localhost, it will start. It will ask you some deep questions, then it will do the installation for you. If there's any question, we are done. I can kill it. You see, the size is not bad. You didn't struggle.
This one, there are no pictures there. You know, our eyes is tickled by pictures.
You can put pictures here.
So that is on the local host.
Okay, this one is not sliding. You can get one that is sliding. Yeah. But this is not local. It's not local. But you can install this one to locally. It's not linked, so you will have to link file and go to this.
Okay, so this is just the raw.
Yeah. So you will have to
change a single page website.
A single page. It depends on how you want to make one. For example, if this is linking to another section of the page, everything is linking. But if this one takes you to another page, then it's not a single page.
So,
This ones, for example, you don't need them. So you take them out.
this is a single page. Well, none of them is linking you somewhere.
Yeah.
Mine is after.
Oko Vanderpool. Or let someone take us. Hey, I'm a king. No, so you know there is this story. There is this man, Mullah Nasruddin. He was in a room. he was upstairs. The wife was down. You get it? He was upstairs, the wife was down. And the wife heard boom, like something fell. So the wife asked, like, dear, what is that? He said, oh, don't worry. He said, I heard a loud sound. He said, oh no, my clothes fell. So the wife was like, your clothes? They like that big sound he heard. He said, your clothes? He said, yeah, my clothes. He said, ah. And that big sound, I was in it.
So he fell.
The cloth fell, but he was in the cloth. So I want to know, is it me you are taking with my clothes? The picture you are taking. The picture you are taking. Is it me you are taking or my smoke you are taking? That is what I want to know. Yes? He said, Mullah, what is that? He said, why? Oh, don't worry. Not a big problem. He said, no, I had a big sound. That my clothes fell.
Which of them?
His Mullah Nasruddin. It's like caricatures. Yeah. He's a philosopher, but they normally see him as like the customer as idiot. Like all his sayings are invented. Like satirical. His words, you have to sleep and wake up before you understand what he's
When you are Wordpress, they will read the
Where the actually
the web
the website is there.
No, but he's actually use the word.
Yeah, you can do it. You can use Wordpress. If you log in, that option is there. Install Wordpress.
No, we have to Oh, no. Hey, Charlie. Oh, David. Hey,
the Abdallah. And then your five-star. I'm a promise this man.
and the phone guy can look and cover in this. Who are recommend? Actually, they are getting the phone.
What type of phone is it? I hope it's not taking.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yang kau ini, kau yang kau. Bapa yang kesan.
Do you know paparazzi? Paparazzi.
Kau yang kau kafir.
Yeah, definitely one of the Danny.
Why? To my phone,
If selfie is fine. No, it's fine. This one is not an image.
Oh, I think it's okay.
It's okay. This is not part of the image. So it's fine.
This one number. Yeah, but this one I think it's it. Wow.
He stood here and took it.
No, I mean.
Okay.
I think this one is. That G, I don't know. G. Yo, you can
I told you why didn't come here.
No, like he left. He came. I thought he saw.
Yes, it's true. Adia, I'm expecting you to do this tomorrow. This one day you get it, right? This one we install. Yeah, you can do it for me. My sister. Tomorrow we'll continue with yours. No, tomorrow we'll be on the same page. We will all be on the same page so you can be moving.
No. I'm thinking another one. I want to finish this one.
Yeah. Okay, then sit and let me. You have time.
Oh, I have
I thought I was joking with you, so I don't have time. I'm going.
Still house and system. Close of like 4. So like I didn't stay but even to 6 grand.
So,
He said the way you do put it. No, it wasn't. It was switched off.
I know I put it here, but it wasn't off in the iPhone. I put it in the iPhone.
You know that phone is not reliable.
Now it's always be here.
I was stranded.
Sorry. You know how to do it? Okay, over here. So we can be on the same page. This one, I hope you don't get confused. So he said I even went to campus. I didn't work. That's the truth. I didn't work. But I went to campus around 9 and came back. But I came back because I wasn't feeling well. So I just came home and I took some of the drugs and I slept. But I can't remember the phone was off. My wife was actually we go with it tomorrow. It's whose phone? Actually,
Yes.
this is your phone.
It's the same.
Someone is requesting for change.
It's the same phone. Oh, it's the same phone.
Yeah, no, you don't care about phone, so let's change.
No, only I care.
He said men don't care about phone, so
Only I care. I care about his phone. It's the same phone, the same brand. I kind of see it.
I hope this one makes sense. What we did today. No, some of the side examples you can bootstrap.
One side. Yes. It's a demo. You can get everything. There's everything. JavaScript.
So you just have to look at and see if that template can work on the Wordpress problem. The site that work on the Wordpress problem, they have like a structure on the site.
That site is
And tomorrow you can download some of the answers. You will work on the Wordpress framework. And the good thing is, this one, it comes with database. The database, everything is created. So the comment section, they are all going to database. And you see it, the post, the pages, they all have their tables created already. Just these steps we do. All those things are added for us. So it's, but if you really want to be a web developer, don't start from there. But as you focus on your own project, building it from scratch, when someone comes your way, I need this, I don't have to start from scratch for the software. Just use this technology. Just use the technology to build it for him and then get your small money and then continue with your own. So it's really good to know this. A lot of us yes, I'm recording this.
Mr. Bassett.
Abdul Bassett. You change your site, I know.
With the Wordpress, like, already have visited there. How to download.
So,
By this.
No, here, you know, I have a domain name already. And I have a host already. So I just did the installation in it. But if they say you have to buy a domain name, you have to buy a host before you can start doing the installations in it. So if you have to do it for someone, you charge him for that. And the estimate is what I gave. Domain name like 80 cities, or just say 100 cities for domain name. And then charge out to him by hosting. The thing is, for example, if you are able to get it with $2, you'll be able to buy your own domain name, your own hosting. Then you build your site without hosting. Then you will now see for others add to that site. So when the year changes, you don't pay that 200 again. Because anybody who will come will charge you $50 a year. And anybody who will come, you bought it, you are hosting, but you have more space to add other people. So when the year turns, all those people on your site, charge the $50. Yeah, they will pay for the hosting, but you renew their domain too, which is around $20, or let's say $15. $15 to is it 5? Yeah, it's around $15, maximum $15. So you use $15 to renew the person's domain. Then the $30 or $35, let's say you use it to renew the host for all the people on that. So anybody who pays $50, you use $15 to renew his email, his domain. Then the $35 is a profit. Anybody who will pay, you take 15, you renew the person's domain, the 15 is a profit. Instead of 15, you use the first person's one to pay for the hosting, which you are all on it. So that is the tough work is getting customers. Once you are able to afford to buy that hosting, your site is on it. You just have to go around charging people. And when you are charging someone for a new site, it's not that $50. You have to charge for development costs. This feature is just the renewal. So you can charge like $200 or $300, and then you use like that $50 to do these registrations. The rest is your profit. And every year the person will be paying that $50. So you just have to package yourself like you're a developer. And it's very important to get your site on your list before you can approach people that can get the site for you. So that is it. Okay, God willing, tomorrow.